I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the FOX 2.0 Performance Series IFP shocks. Here we have both the front and the rear shocks for a 0 to 1 inch lift, but we also have these shocks available for different lift sizes. The shocks in your JK control the ride quality more than any other individual component. And FOX is known for building a really high quality shock that rides well and gives you a lot of control both on road and off. So if you're looking for a premium shock to provide a quality ride, these are worth a look. There are two main categories of shocks to look at when purchasing new shocks for your JK. One is hydraulic shocks and the other is nitrogen charged shocks. A nitrogen charged shock will generally ride a little bit stiffer than a hydraulic shock, but the final ride quality really comes down to the valving. One drawback to a hydraulic shock is that if you work the shock really hard, maybe in high-speed desert racing, running through washboards, or whoops at high speed, you'll eventually get some bubbling in the fluid, which can cause cavitation and eventually shock fade. The nitrogen charge in a nitro shock will control the bubbling and eliminate that shock fade. Now, like I said, these are the FOX 2.0 series performance shocks. FOX also offers the 2.0 Evolution series, and there are some minor differences. These Performance Series shocks have an aluminum body as opposed to the steel body of the Evolution series. The aluminum should be lighter weight and dissipate heat better. The shaft on these performance shocks is chrome plated and made of a heat-treated alloy, as opposed to the steel shaft on the Evolution series. The shaft on the Performance series will stand up to some serious abuse. Getting these shocks installed in your JK is really pretty straightforward. There is a difference between the front and the rear shocks. The rear have this bar pin at the top and a single shock bolt at the bottom. The front have the same shock bolt at the bottom, but at the top they have this threaded shaft that'll go right into the shock mount on the frame. To get these shocks installed on your JK, you will want to remove the tire. It just gives you easier access to the bolts you need to get to. The entire install should take about 20 minutes to a half hour per shock, but that's going to greatly depend on how rusty your bolts are. I find that especially up front on the top shock mounts, they can get really rusty and be a pain to remove. So before you get started, spray everything with a good penetrating oil. So for most of this install, you won't need any specialty tools, just some sockets and open-ended wrenches. However, in the front on the top mounts, you will need an Allen key to hold the shaft from spinning while you tighten down the nut. One thing I really like about these shocks is they come fully assembled with the bar pins and bushings in place. That's not the case with every other shock. This way, you don't have to fight with a vise to get everything pressed into place. Like I said before, FOX is a premium shock and the price reflects it. FOX is really well known in the racing world, and they do a lot of research into their valving to build a shock that provides a really comfortable ride. Some people think that a rough ride is just part of owning a Jeep, it's just part of the experience. But that's not necessarily true. A set of high quality shocks can provide a comfortable ride in your Jeep. So if ride quality isn't the most important thing to you, you can save a couple of dollars by going with a lot of other brands of shocks. But if your Jeep is your daily driver and a comfortable ride is what's most important, in my opinion, these are worth a couple extra dollars. So that's my review of the FOX 2.0 Performance Series IFP shocks that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.